All right, welcome back to trigonometry. So today, this afternoon, this evening, we are going to be figuring out the double angles, the cosine of 2 theta, cosine of 2 theta, and tangent of 2 theta. And we know that the cosine of theta is equal to negative root 3 over 3, and that the sine is greater than 0. Okay, so you have to think to yourself, right? We have the mnemonic, all students take calculus. So where is our sine positive? It's in first and third quadrant. And since the cosine is negative, we know that this is going to be in quadrant two. That's not really that important, but we're going to go figure it out. We figured it out anyway. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and draw a triangle. We're going to say, okay, we know that the cosine of theta is equal to the negative square root of 3 over 3. Don't argue with it. It's just going to be square root of 3 is our adjacent. 3 is going to be our hypotenuse, adjacent of our hypotenuse. We have to figure out this extra thing here. We have to figure out this extra side. So we're going to say that we have a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. A squared is going to be the square root of 3 squared. Okay, let me go ahead and put that in there. So we have the square root of 3 squared plus b squared is equal to 3 squared, right? That's our last part here. So don't get confused with this. We have 3 plus b squared is equal to 3 squared, which is 9. Subtract 3 from both sides. We have b squared is equal to 6, and then that means b is equal to the square root of 6. All right, so here we have the square root of 6 here. All right, that's our triangle. So now we have to figure out the sine of 2 theta. So the sine of 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta times the cosine of theta. So we're going to go ahead and figure that out. So let's leave that as a negative there. So we have twice, and then we have to figure out the sine. Well, that's going to be the square root of 6 over 3 times the cosine. That's negative square root of 3, not the square root of negative 3, square root of negative square roots of 3 divided by 3. Okay, so we're just going to multiply this stuff all together here. So we have 2 times the square root of 18 divided by 3 times 3 is 9. And I'm going to simplify this down a little bit. Let's put a negative in there. Okay, don't forget that. So we have negative 2. And then 18 is 9 times 2. The square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 2, all divided by 9 here, or 3 times 3. So some stuff is going to cancel here. So we have negative 2 root 2 all over, one of the 3's canceled, divided by 3. So that's our sine of 2 theta here. Okay, so there we go with that. All right, next one up, we have cosine of 2 theta. Okay, and cosine of 2 theta is 2 cosine squared theta minus 1. You could have also written this as cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta. Okay, or you could write this as 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. Okay, you can use any one of these formulas. It's okay. Actually, we're going to use the middle one. Okay, we're going to use that one right there. So I want the cosine squared of theta. So that's going to be negative root 3 over 3 squared minus, and then we're going to write in our sine, which is going to be root 6 over 3 squared, root 6 over 3 squared, and that is going to be equal to, and here we have square root of 3 squared is going to be 3 over 9 minus, right? And then we're going to have 6 over 9. So 3 minus 6, that's going to be negative 3 over 9. I think that's negative 1/3. Okay, so that's going to be our cosine of 2 theta here. Okay, now we have to figure out the tangent of 2 theta. Now, you have some choices here because uh, on the problem itself, and this would be available to you on exam as well, that we would know that the tangent of 2 theta is equal to 2 tangent thetas divided by 1 minus tangent squared of theta. Okay, so we're going to write this down. We have 2 tangent theta divided by 1 minus tangent squared theta. I believe that's the correct way to go with that. So we can go ahead and go back to our triangle and figure that out, and that's fine. We could also say, hey, we have sine of 2 theta divided by cosine of 2 theta. That would also be the tangent of 2 theta. Well, since I already went through the trouble of figuring out the sine of 2 theta and the cosine of 2 theta, why don't we do that? We'll say this is negative 2 root 2 over 3, negative 2 root 2 over 3 divided by negative 1/3. Okay, So we have to remember how to divide fractions. It's negative 2 root 2 over 3 times 3 over 1. They're both negative. The negatives cancel. This stuff cancels. So we actually end up with 2 root 2. And hopefully that'll do it for us. Now, we can double check because I gave you a way to do that. We have 2, and we go back up here to say, what is the tangent here? Going back up to my triangle, the tangent is root 6 over root 3. Okay? So we can say this is root 6 divided by root 3. We have 2 of those. And then we have 1 minus, and then here we have root 6 over root 3 squared. And let's see what that does for us. Okay? So we can go ahead and figure that out. So let's go ahead and deal with the fractions here and deal with the things here. So this is going to be square root of 6 over square root of 3 divided by, and then we have 1 minus, and now we have to square the square roots here. So it's just going to be 6 over 3. So we're going to end up with something like that. So 1 minus 6 over 3. Let's go ahead and say this is 3 over 3 minus 6 over 3. Here we have 2 root 6 over root 3. 3 minus 6 is going to be, I think this is going to be negative 3 over 3 here. Okay, and divided by 2, yeah, we have a root 6 over root 3 here. So that's just 1. And I think some of these things were negative. I'm not sure which one this is. Yeah, this should be negative up here for that. So that'll cancel. And then what we're going to have is we're going to have 2 root 6 over root 3 divided by 1. And I'm going to do something clever here. I'm going to say this is 2, and then we're going to say this is root 2 times root 3 divided by root 3. Cancel the root 3's, and we end up with 2 root 2, which agrees with the other way of doing the problem. And voila, I know I'm going to be walking out of this problem thinking that I did it 100% correct because we got tangent of 2 theta in 2 different ways, and they matched. Okay, so thank you very much for watching that video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.